Yolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy. And today I want to talk about something for our newest players in this game again. But before I get started with the faction reputation events, I just want to say, if you haven't seen that yet, when a video is published, as soon as I can, I pin a comment under the videos, and there you find information on subscribing, commenting, how to get on the Discord I set up for this server, for this channel. It's a server with a data collection and some forums where you can talk and stuff. And also how you can support my channel if you ever thought about this. So just have a look in that pinned comment. But now let's have a look at the faction reputation. When you get started in the game, you are confronted with a lot of new stuff. And one of them is faction reputation. And you cannot get up reputation for one faction in the end without losing it from another, but in time you will get all the factions, the Romulans, the Klingons, and the Federation into the positive. Usually, some people are playing it differently, but usually you will get all three into the positive. And whenever you have one of those in the positive reputation region, you can look at the daily events. And I think it was about 50,000 reputation or so where they started. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's quite some time ago. Even on my small channel, I'm above that. No, not the ticketed events. That's a habit now when we have ticketed events that I always want to do them. We have to scroll completely over to the daily events. And here you not only find the changing events for like research, officer events, recruit events, station events and stuff like that. When you are in the positive region with one of the reputation, you find a reputation event for that faction here as well. And as I said, if you have all three in the positive, you find three of those reputation events here. It's different for every level, that I have to say in the beginning already. Different for depending on your reputation in that faction. And if you have a look inside, I finished them all as you saw, because I can do all three now. There you have 4 stages in this milestone event, and you have to complete those stages to get the rewards. And in these rewards there will be reputation points for the faction that you're doing this for, but at the same time you will lose reputation with the other 2 factions. And you see, half of what I gain for the Romulans I lose with the Klingons and with the Federation. So that's why you really have to be careful when you decide if you want to do this. And when it goes up at the last stages, you also get some faction credits, but you always continue to gain for this one in reputation points and lose at the others in reputation points, but only the last 2 milestones you get credits. To complete those milestones you have to spend resources, and that means pasteel, tritanium and dilithium, and later when you are above level 61 and over, you will have to spend sigma resources as well. For this you see how many points that gets, but I'm far away from that too, so we are concentrating on pasteel, tritanium and dilithium. You can spend it on building, on upgrading ships, on repairing ships. I mean, with one repair of my Northcut I can do all the 3 events at once. But you also can do it by donating to your alliance, and we quickly go there. If you go on the bottom left to alliance, and you see the level 31 and contribute. That's the button where you see the alliance level and where you can contribute to your alliance. And there, if you either use the buttons on the bottom, which are 1 donation, to do that, and with that you can spend pasteel, dilithium or tritanium, depending on the level. It changes between those levels of the alliance. And you also can click this plus button, and there you can donate more than just 1 donation. You can donate up to 50 donation at once. I always have to do 50 for my 50 dilithium, for example, for my reputation events. if I don't want to do it by repairing my Northcutt, for example. And then I just click the button here and then it's finished. I don't need to do it today because they're finished already, as you saw when we were there. But those reputation events, they do help getting more reputation. But as you saw, they also make you lose reputation. That's why you really have to think about, do you really want to do them? And that way you see view now, because I finished them. There is, before you start them, every day a button with join. And so you decide if and which of these reputation events you want to join. If you are working hard on a certain faction at the moment, it's not wise to do all 3 of those faction events. Just do the one you're really working hard on. So if you're working hard on the Federation at the moment, just click join on below the Federation and or it says join here, I guess. It's sometimes I'm getting older every day as well. Nevertheless, either I think it's view all the time and the join is here. I do that every day and I still don't remember stuff like that. But I do that every evening. That's why I cannot show you that. You see it's running for another 8 hours. It always runs from reset to reset. The second reset, by the way. We have 2 at the moment. And then you click join, and then you can do that without losing the reputation via the other 2, and that's why it's good that they put in a join button here, and that you can choose. I'm in a position where mine are different. You saw what I gained with the Romulans, and I can click that again. It's 2.6 million on the top one, and if we click on the Klingons, it's 3.7 million. So I definitely will earn something for the Klingons if I do all 3, because I'm losing less with the other 2 than I'm gaining with the Klingon one. But I can only get higher with the Klingons here, but the Klingons are the ones I'm upgrading slowly still. I'm not on a massive Klingon reputation grind at the moment, otherwise my hostiles will get too strong too early. And so I take it slow, and I can take the rewards from all 3 of them. But that's what you really have to think about. Do you want the credits, and which are not in abundance? So it's just overall 600 credits I can get here via this event. So it's not a major help at the costs I'm facing now, but in the beginning, that they might be quite helpful as well. But they are most helpful to grind for a certain faction and the reputation for a certain faction if you use them. So really think about what you want to achieve, how many of those to do because of the reputation losses, and in many cases you will only do one of them for a while, just to be quicker with the reputation gains for this one faction. If you have all 3 factions at the 10 million lock, for example, then it's a good time for a bit to just do all 3 of them and collect some credits as well. And before you get started with the next one that you bring to the 1 billion lock then. And as soon from that position, when you have all 3 at 10 million and you go ahead with one for the 1 billion lock, there will come the point where it's not so important that you lose a bit from the other 2 factions, because you are gaining so much for this one. So after reaching the triple lock at 10 million, take a little time to get the rewards from all 3 factions in the sense of credits. Then start with your one faction that you bring to 1 billion and keep an eye on the rewards and the losses. And then from a certain point, when you got a little bit of way, or of a little bit on your way to the 1 billion, then you can start taking the other 2 events again as well, because they're not doing that big harm to your one faction that you're bringing to the billion. I've got all 3 over a billion now, and so that's why it looks a bit different. But this starts already when you got all of them into the positive. And as I said, with the 10 million lock, there you can use the time to get some credits and then get started with 1 again. And when you have it high enough for your taste to start the other 2 again to get more credits there as well, then you can do all 3 again. Reputation is something where I always read, yes, I'm losing reputation. Yeah, that's how this game works. If you are not on a lock at the moment, and there are only 3 locks so far, that's 10 million. Okay, we take one more lock, that's the -2 million. You cannot never drop below -2 million. Then there's the 10 million you can never fall under. Then there's the 1 billion. And then there's the 15 billion. And that's all the locks that are there. There's nothing in between. So in between you always can fall down again. And that's what you always have to keep an eye on and what you have to keep in your mind. But those events here are always a help, even if it's just 600 credits for me now with 1 blueprint costing 3,000. Every credit helps. So I'm absolutely taking care that I'm doing those events every day, and I'm switching from 1 to 3 from time to time. Now my Klingons are ahead again, so I can do all the 3, but it's something I cannot repeat often enough. Really think about which ones of those you want to join, and that's why it's good that you can decide which to join and they are not automatically filled up by spending resources. Of course, from the experienced players, I want to know how you are dealing with those events and with doing them or not doing them. That will be a big help for the others as well. And if you have questions in general, and of course about the Klingon reputation or the reputation in general, of course, as well, then you know that I regularly read those comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.